Hi there, fabulous friends. Welcome to the channel. As I was just stepping in front of the camera, I passed a mirror and thought to myself, I might have made a mistake with this sweater, because I have been told in the past that the lights just wash me out completely. So between my ghostly pallor and my Targaryen blonde hair and this kind of just slightly off-white sweater, it's entirely possible you may not even see me. It might just be a pair of lips and maybe some butterflies floating around on your screen. So if that's the case, well, I apologize. I hope it's enjoyable nonetheless. Please stick around. I'm going to be tackling more of the repairs and alterations and sometimes major surgery on the items that I currently have in the trunk of shame, which is where I keep all of my items that need a little love. Either they are old items that maybe need a fix, a new button or take the hem up or something like that. Or they are thrift finds that aren't quite it for whatever reason. Or there's something I have the idea about changing from something into something else. I'm actually filming this intro before I tackle the pile, so I don't actually know how many of these we're going to get through, but let's find out. It's getting to be that wanting to snuggle in at home and just work on things weather, so hopefully I can make a dent in the pile. There's plenty more to go, so you'll be seeing some more of these videos coming up too. Today's outfit, this is chenille sweater from Joe Fresh, and the butterflies are vintage Avon brooches that I found my first one of these in Paris, and then I found two more while I was thrifting here. And I just think they're so beautiful. I'll show you a close-up of one after I film this. I'll show you a close-up of one. They're just stunning. And I would recommend, if you are a brooch collector, then keep your eye out when you're thrifting to see if you can ever find a duplicate of one that you already have. Because if you can find a matching set, they're all kinds of useful for adding to an epaulette, adding to shoes, putting them in your hair. There are so many options for once you have a matching set of brooches. And if you can find extras, well, that's just good sense. Turtlenecks are such a great way to show off your brooch collection. This is kind of a cowl neck, and I find it's a little bit floppy. Sometimes I want it more snug, and pinning it with a brooch is A, great way to do that, and B, a great way to show off the brooch collection. Let's get on with the thrift flips. This is one of my thrift finds. It's Joe Fresh. It's a really nice stretchy velvet, and it's a gorgeous deep purple color, sort of plummy, and it fits fine through here and it fits fine through here, but the waist is just really baggy, and I don't think I want to be belting it all the time, because also how much wear am I going to get from this like this? So I think the move here is that I'm going to cut it so that it can just be a top. Cutting it probably around here to make sure I can tuck it into jeans. Okay, so this is a little cropped rhinestone mesh top. I am not really interested in it as a crop top, or actually with the sleeves. It fits okay through here, but the sleeves are quite tight, and I don't really need it because I have another project that's going to give me a long sleeve rhinestone mesh top. But what I am thinking for this one is that it would be a really useful layering piece, just to kind of like fill in the neckline sometimes with different things. So for this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sleeves off, and what I'll probably do is cut them maybe around here. And then these can just be little wrist pieces that I can use as cuffs if I don't feel like putting on jewelry. Okay, so this jumpsuit is super fabulous, very kind of witchy, gothy, magnificent, and it's a little bit annoying because the length of the trousers is good on me, and they actually fit. The whole thing actually fits except through here. Because it's a jumpsuit and I have a long torso, it's just way too short for me through here. So Unfortunately, this is not going to work for me as a jumpsuit. So what I'm going to be doing is retrieving this as a top, and then the trousers, I'm just going to keep the material. I'll hold on to it for sure. But what's going to happen, this has enough, I think this has enough stretch that I can remove the zipper and just sew this together and pull it on over my head. But for the purposes of right now, what I'm going to do is the bottom of the zipper is just here. So I'm just going to slice it across. So this is my other rhinestone mesh project. This was a dress that I got basically in the clearance sales at Zara a couple of years ago. Honestly, how practical is this as a garment? It's really not. But again, as a two-piece, I think this would work really nicely. So I'm going to cut it here because I want it to have enough. I've pinned it where I'm going to cut it because I want this to be long enough. A lot of these tops are crops, and I do not want that. I would like it to be long enough that I can tuck it in. And then I'll still have this section here, which I think would be really nice, just worn over a plain pencil skirt, just to give it a bit of va-va-voom when it's needed. So this is a dress that I picked up at TJ Maxx in New York. Is it TJ Maxx? Why can I never remember? And I think it was $9. It was on some crazy clearance. And I just thought these butterflies were so fun. And also from a distance, they kind of look like bats. Slightly witchy vibe of fall. So, but this baby doll is just not it for me. So I want the skirt. I'm just going to cut it here, just above here where the elastic is. Cut that straight across, which of course means the top is going to be basically unwearable as is, because that'll be like a bikini. And I do not wear those out in public unless I am at a beach. But I still think the sleeves are really fun. So I am going to experiment with what I can do with these, see if I can add them to something or figure out a way to just layer them under something. So stay tuned for those. But the skirt, yes, we'll get that underway for sure. This bag needs a little bit of work. When I found it, I was just so excited to find such a great fringy bag that I made an amateur mistake and I didn't really look at the handle, which is peeling and also was not very secure here in this little socket. I tried to glue it, as you can see, not very successfully. But what it does have are these jump rings, these big jump rings. So this is going to be an easy matter to just remove altogether. I'm going to add a chain here. Okay, so this is another thrift find. So this I bought because, I mean, obviously the drama is amazing, and I like it as a dress, but for some reason the hips on this are cut very generously because, you know, this is not a particularly skinny area for me, but even for me, this is too loose through here. So I'm just going to cut it in a more straight line, I hope, across here so that we've still got all the drama of the ruffle, which goes all the way down the back as well. It might need to flatten out a little bit if I'm wearing it with something high-waisted, but I think that is going to work out perfectly. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you will remember this from my London and Paris thrift haul video. I thrifted this at a charity shop up near Camden Market in London. It is the most glorious midnight blue, and I think there's actually kind of too much light on it right now because it's looking a bit flat, but you can maybe see it a little bit better down here. It's just gorgeous. So I just fell in love with the pleating, and look at the drama of these sleeves. They are very wrinkled because this thing's been sitting in a box since June when I got back, and I haven't done anything with it, but I haven't had time. So originally it came with this belt, which I did start with. I started taking that off. And I think what's going to happen with this is that once I've removed it, I might put a little piece of elastic on it and use it as a headband. I think that would be really nice. So what's going to happen here is that I'm turning it into a two-piece because I want this as a maxi skirt. It's just glorious. So I'm going to cut it here, The zipper makes it slightly tricky, but because it's pleated all over, I'm going to move the zipper down to here and just fix the edges so that the zipper can stay with the rest of the skirt. And then I will pull the remnants out of the zipper out of here. And because of this pleating, I'll be able to just sew it up so that you'll never know there was a zipper there to begin with. Look at this pleating. Oh my God, it's so gorgeous. Anyway, so the top, because you know how much I love a dramatic blazer, that's going to become sort of like a little cropped, unstructured sort of blazery thing. So I haven't quite worked out this crossover, but maybe what I could do is just pin it with a brooch or something like that. This is a fairly large surgical process, so I don't know if I'm going to get it actually finished to put in this video, but I just wanted to let you know I'm making a start with it, and the finished product might end up in a later video. So this is another one that I want to turn into a maxi skirt. It's obviously an evening dress, and as an evening dress, I don't like it for me. In this case, it's not right on me. It's too low cut here. The empire waist doesn't hit me in the right place, and I don't know how I feel about this ribbon. I may or may not keep it, but right now the plan, but like, look at the movement of this skirt. It's so nice. So I've already pinned it. I'm going to be cutting it here and then just sewing up the zipper so that that stays in place. The top part is probably going to go to textile recycling. I don't think there's anything I can do with it.